Hey there, it's Dusty with yet another Reddit story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for not paying for my child's mother to visit for Christmas? I have sole, legal, and physical custody of my daughter who turns 1 on New Year's Day. I've been her primary caretaker since she was a newborn. Things turned out this way because her mom had planned to give her up for adoption. I tried to go along with that plan, but ultimately couldn't. Her mom, my ex-girlfriend, and I are not together. We broke up before she even told me she was pregnant. We met in college, which is several states away from where I'm from. I had already relocated back to an area closer to where I'm from before she told me she was pregnant. She still lives in the area the college is in. She is still working on graduating, but has been struggling this year. So originally, she didn't really want any updates, photos, etc. of our daughter. She agreed to give me sole custody, but she is still legally my daughter's mother. I've respected her wishes and updates and whatnot, but also let her know I'd be open to sharing if she changed her mind. A few months after our daughter was born, she reached out and asked for an update and to see pics. We didn't talk every day, but she started regularly checking in. Then a few months later, she asked if she could visit. I didn't know how I felt about that, but I understand I have to separate my own feelings from what's best for my daughter. Ultimately, I think it'd be good for her to have her mom involved in her life. Anyway, she wanted me to pay for her to come visit. I told her no, I couldn't afford it. I was 24 years old and raising our baby on my own. Sorry. She seemed disappointed, but didn't really mention it again. Then a few weeks before Christmas, she mentioned wanting to see our daughter for Christmas and her birthday. I was annoyed that she'd bring it up like 2 weeks before Christmas, but I tried to be nice about it. And then she asked me to pay for it again. I told her no. I'm going to go ahead and red flag this here. I really want to see her, and I want you to pay for it. I don't think anybody in OP's shoes here would be like, sure. The truth is that I had the money this time. I could have afforded a plane ticket. I could have let her stay at my place if need be, although I really hated the idea of that. I told her I couldn't afford it. I just don't want to pay for her to come out here. She pays nothing in child support, and honestly, that doesn't bother me. But if she wants to come here and visit, I think she needs to pay for it. Of course, she tried to guilt trip me and accused me of keeping her from her daughter over Christmas, and that I should be lucky she's made this so easy for me. She sent me several messages on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day about how I kept my daughter from having both her parents with her for her first Christmas, and that I'm evil, I'm Scrooge, etc. Was I the asshole for not paying for her to come see our daughter at Christmas? Edit! I officially have sole legal and physical custody ordered by the court. No need to comment to advise me to speak to a lawyer to officially get custody. I have it, and it's been in place for well over 6 months. She also literally just turned 22 and is in college. She has no money. There is no money for child support right now, and I want her to be able to finish school. Child support could increase in the future. Okay, so I'm going to give you my personal thoughts on this here, OP. When you have a child with another person that you are not with and disagreements start popping up, you have to revert back to the agreement. The agreement should be the thing you can always fall back to if you can't agree on something different, right? You have sole custody, but she's legally still the mother. There's got to be some kind of structure in there that says if mother wants to see or have a supervised visit with the child or a visit, unsupervised, whatever, there has to be some kind of process that she has to go through. Travel and amenities are covered by no one. That's on her. And there's got to be some kind of documentation that says that's not on, well, no, unless there's documentation that says it's on you, it's not on you. There has to be some kind of process for her to be able to request that, though, X time ahead, subject to approval, whatever it is. Having that kind of structure in your document always allows you to fall back to it and say, look, well, if we can't agree on something different, the document says this, we have to follow the document. If you don't follow the document, you get in trouble. So there's that. She changed her mind. That's a her thing. She's wanting to come see her daughter. That's a her thing. And if she wanted to come see her daughter bad enough, she would find a way to make it happen. Don't you think? Yeah, I mean, also putting myself in her shoes, I'm sure she's wrestling with this hard, but she made a decision. And she has to understand that popping in randomly to try to be a part of a child's life randomly isn't healthy. She's got to be aware of that. And right now, her expectations of you, OP, I call bullshit on. I think she's trying to guilt you because guilt is something that can work, right? But go back to the agreement. What does the agreement say that she can and cannot do? What access does she have? If it's none, it's none. You have sole, legal, and physical custody. She probably has no source for visitation here. And if she wants to do that, she's going to have to go through a lawyer to request a modification. And unless there's been a change in circumstances, that probably will not happen. So you have every right to say no. Anything beyond no is you doing her a favor. That's it. Doing her a favor. And I think you, OP, have to be really guarded here. And I know there's a part of you that feels guilty too because your child doesn't have her mother in her life. And you're like, yeah, it'd be great for her to have her mom in her life. Maybe. There's a lot of potential damage that can come from a parent showing up for a very short amount of time. And you're talking about like a couple days, maybe, and then disappearing again. There's no stability there. There's no relationship that's going to be built there, especially not a maternal one. There's not going to be any opportunity to build a relationship there. And if that kind of pandered, that kind of random pattern continues, that's only going to cause damage to your child and confusion. There's no good that will come from that. Your ex is really struggling with her decision right now, but that decision was made. Legally, it's been made. Wendy Taylor, it sounds like she has no rights since she was giving her up for adoption. OP says she's still legally her mother, which means she's on the birth certificate, right? But she has no rights to the child. The question was, am I the astronaut for not paying for my child's mother to visit for Christmas? Hell no. No, and I would urge you to look at the bigger picture here. And now that you are a parent, you're a new parent, right? You have a baby. So you're probably not yet thinking long term. You're thinking short term, right? But think about the long-term effects. What if your ex shows up a couple of days per year and plays mom while she's there? Imagine the confusion that could cause within your child, and then multiply that by 5 years. And think about when your kid's, 5 turning 6, this could be a really confusing, damaging thing for your child. So hell no, you're not the asshole for not paying for it. I would urge you to really think hard about the structure that you would use if you did allow her to come have a visit. And I would say, putting myself in your shoes there, like, okay, you can come visit like at X number of times throughout the year. However, when you're visiting, you are not going to start saying things like, I'm your mommy, because you're not. It could be really, really confusing.